Fantastic. So yes, Audio Pro Business, it's from Sweden, and basically they come out of a parent company called Audio Pro AB. They've been around for 40 years, and their main foray into the audio world is a consumer brand called Audio Pro. Audio Pro Business is their commercial arm, and it's actually come out of another brand they had in the past, which you may have come across, called Sonab. So it's actually not their first kind of foray into the commercial audio world, which is fantastic. It means that we've had a lot of time to kind of concentrate on improving the products and understand the real difficulties when bringing hi-fi and Wi-Fi technology into the commercial audio market. So just a quick little bit about Audio Pro, if you don't know much about them. They've got a fantastic range of speakers. They've got plenty of 5-star reviews from What Hi-Fi for a lot of different products. So they really know their stuff, and the products they're designing fit into beautiful homes across the world. Very, very popular now, with a lot of people moving away from kind of the traditional hi-fi side of things and want speakers that look beautiful. And I think it really goes to show the design element and also the aesthetic that this kind of the team behind these brands really wants. But we're here to talk about Audio Pro Business, the commercial element. And as you can see, these speakers fit into the real high-end side of things. We've got beautiful installations in a heck of a lot of great places. So here's a nice BMW garage. And can you spot the speakers? Well, this is the interesting thing. Most of the speakers are actually in the lighting rails. And what's great about that is, well, most people don't look at lighting rails. They don't look where the lights are, because guess what? It kind of blinds your eyes. So what really happens when you're putting audio into these kind of places is it really does disappear. The end user does not look for where the audio is coming from, and they look really, really cool. And so with the whole parent company, they've had over 7,000 commercial installations. It's a real impressive stat of how many installs they've actually done. A little kind of good example of this is Konghalla Shopping Centre. I'm pretty sure that's how I would pronounce it in English. I'm not too sure about Swedish. But to give you a great example here, this is quite a new shopping centre that's been built, and 25% of the stores have Audio Pro Business installed. This really is the future of commercial audio, using the technology that these guys have put together. And as you can see, it's pretty much 60 odd percent of all the audio systems installed into the shopping centre. Sorry, 30% of all the audio systems. They've worked with amazing brands like BMW, Mercedes, Carphone Warehouse, Shell, Porsche, WH Smith, Scant, Volvo. Read the rest as you like. It's really great to see that the kind of brands that use this technology are really the premium brands in our marketplace. This is the Porsche Center in Helsborg. Got some beautiful images of the speakers installed here. Very, very easy to set up, very quick to install, and they just look great. It's really nice to see them working with places like Porsche. These speakers are a little bit more high-end. We're not looking at the kind of corner shop speakers. Not that there's anything wrong with speakers in corner shops. It's just not quite the marketplace for this brand. And it's all about interference-free wireless solutions. We're using a 1.9 gigahertz spectrum, which is very interesting. Quite different from the 2.4 gig that you'll see for a lot of brands. We're really using a much better quality wireless band to do this. Let's have a quick look at all of the products, and I do mean all of the products because it's a really well thought through range, and we've got every single product perfect for each different application. The first is this little SP1. This is a lovely little plug and play little unit. It's a 2.75 inch driver with a 12 watt D-class amplifier. What's great with all the amplifiers is they're all built into the speakers. Not like a 100-volt system where you have to plan all of the amplification, you've got to plan all the cable runs, all of that stuff. Forget about it. It's nice and simple. We've got a speaker, we've got an amplifier, all built in, ready to go. The main speaker that a lot of installers already use is the SP3. This is a bit of a bigger guy, 4.5 inch driver. It's a two-way, so it also has a tweeter in, and it's got a 2x25 watt D-class amplifier. Beautiful sounding speakers. You can set these up and away you go. They sound great. The third main speaker is the SPW5. This guy is an on-wall style speaker. You can very easily put it onto any wall. Really beautiful in front of this GT3 RS Porsche car in their garage. And it's a very simple little speaker. It doesn't mount flush into a ceiling mount, but it will mount onto ceilings and walls. And again, we've got a 4-inch two-way with a 2x25 watt Class D amp. Very, very nice sounding speaker. But let's take it to the next level. This brand is all about hi-fi quality into commercial space. We're looking for proper high and nice hi-fi sound. This is the Sub 1. It's a 6.5 inch long throw driver, and it sounds beautiful. It's a really, really nice little box. Think about these 100-volt installs that you do with other brands, and think about these situations where you go, I'd just love to have a little active sub. This is it. And then you might think, I don't really want to be able to cable to that sub. It'd be really nice if I could just wirelessly transmit to it. Well, here you go. Very simple to set up into an install. And all you need is the transmitter and one of these, and you've got yourself a wireless sub. And they sound beautiful. When you hear them in the flesh, it really does blow you away how beautiful they sound. And then we've got the Daddy. This is the Sub 3. This is going to an 8-inch long throw with a 100-watt amp. And again, just sounds beautiful. What I really want to see with this brand is let's take commercial installation to the next level. We want it to look beautiful. We want it to be installed as quickly as we can, but we really, really want to take the sound quality to that next level. I want people to go into these installs and go, this sounds better than my home. This sounds better than my home stereo. This sounds better than being in a club. It wants to sound hi-fi, crisp, clean, high quality with lots of bottom end. The transmitter is a very simple little unit. It really is nice and lightweight, very quick to install. And in terms of the connection, what's really interesting with this is it's on a 3.5mm jack. I'm personally not a huge fan of 3.5mm jack, but it is what it's designed with, and it's just something that's very easy to use in most situations. Depending on where you've got your units to play music back from, you can usually set these up very close to each other. But you've also got a USB to sound card built in. What? A sound card built in? This is very, very cool. So it turns up on a Mac computer straight away, just uses standard drivers, and on a PC, it's the same thing. It'll just download the drivers for it straight away, and you're good to go. What more do you need than a simple, easy solution like a built-in sound card into one of these things? And then we have a Vol 1. This is the wireless volume control unit. It's nice and chunky. I really love the design. It's very easy to use, very customer friendly for end users. And basically, we've got 6 different volume controls on this, A to F. So you can actually set up a volume control zone straight out of the box. You don't need anything else. Very simple to use. So let's talk about what these installs will look like. In a store, a small standard installation will have 4 speakers, 1 little sub, a transmitter wireless unit, and a volume control. And you know, for price-wise, it's not crazy money. We've got another solution. This is called the A10. This is a beautiful little speaker system. They come as a pair. They come with the wall mount kit. And this is using 2.4 gig. You can do Bluetooth to them. You can use Apple AirPlay. You can use Spotify Connect. Very, very simple to use. Very, very easy to set up. And it just sets up as a pair. You can actually add more onto the system as well if you want. It's a little bit more of a smaller solution for cafe bars and that kind of thing, but they're fantastic little units too. And price-wise, we're really, really pleased to be offering this kind of product. We're great. We have a great opportunity for margin in the brand as well. So what I think is quite interesting with a lot of installation equipment is, as you see it out onto the online market, as you see more and more people selling the products, there's less and less margin involved into the actual offering of the range. This is a little bit more high-end. And there is some savings to be had in other places when you install it. So what's quite kind of cool is you can really make good value, good money on the brand. Let's talk a little bit about design and installation. And I'll take another drink. The first thing to obviously be aware of when you're doing installations is, let's do a pre-installation checklist. What areas need to be covered by the music? How loud do we want the audio? Is there lighting track available? And this is quite important. Where should the volume control be? And where can the playback media be placed? All very good questions. And let's talk a little bit more about the global track mount. So basically, the type of design these speakers are using is on global track. I'm just going to turn off the presentation. And so this is a global track mount. Now, there is other different types of lighting rails available, but the most standard you'll find on the market is the global track style. You can even buy them in IKEA. And yes, I bought these from IKEA a little bit before the lockdown, which was fantastic. But let me show you how quick this is to install. Click it in, flip the switch, and I've got an installed speaker. It's a really interesting little unit to play with. Hey! And what I really like about this is it means a lot of people in retail, a lot of people in different marketplaces like museums or cafes, they can move the speakers around as well after the fact. Very, very simple to do. So that installation time really becomes quite interesting. In effect, if you've already got lighting rails installed, you could be putting this system up within 20 minutes, half an hour, literally. That's just kind of crazy how quick that is to do. And all you have on the actual unit is electronic circuits or poles. And basically on the unit, you can flip between pole 1, 2, or 3, and that will control where the speaker is getting its power from. And then obviously the speaker is getting its audio via the wireless transmission. And it's really quick, nice and simple to click in place. If you don't have a lighting rail installed or a customer doesn't want lighting rails installed, we also have mounting brackets available, which is a secondary item available. Really, really simple to do. You do have to take apart the unit on the speakers, but we'll have some more video content showing you how to do that shortly. But they are there as an option as well. Now, the 1.9 gig transmission is really interesting. It gives you between 20 and 100 meters transmission. That's a big differential in terms of a recommendation. In reality, it depends on the installation. As you know, with anything wireless, it's worth testing in the space if possible. Most of the time, when planning out systems, if you plan between 20 and 30 meters for your transmission, you will be in a perfect environment. We'll go through some do's and don'ts slightly shortly. I've set up the system in my home with the transmitter at literally the highest point in my house, in my studio room. And I travel down to the back of my garden, which is maybe a 10, 20 meter garden on the other side of the house. Perfect transmission. Through the walls, through everything. I was really impressed with it, and as we'll see, we'll do some more tests and some more video content as well, showing the transmission distance of this system. But we do want to install this with all of the best tips and tricks. The 1.9 gigs are really interesting. So the old Sonab brand that Audio Pro AB used to run was using the 2.4 gig spectrum, which is also a spectrum Audio Technica use on the Audio System 10 audio wireless microphone. What's quite cool with the 1.9 gig is it's free from any wireless use on laptops and from Wi-Fi hotspots. It's also using a DECT technology, which is kind of similar to some of the newer wireless microphones coming onto the market. And it's just clean and very simple to use, and you just don't get any interactions with other systems. What's also very cool with it is you can also add multiple systems side by side. You can imagine in that shopping center, if 25% of the shops have this system installed, well, you don't want interference. And you can actually cascade multiples of systems side by side with each other, which actually makes it quite a interesting proposition when you're doing multiple zones and when you're doing larger zone systems altogether. So you can cascade systems side by side with each other, and the technology just creates its own little space to work within. In terms of application, up to 100 square meters, you're looking between 1 to 4 speakers. Up to 200 meters squared, you're looking at 5 to 8 with 2 subs. And likewise, as it builds up, you can put more speakers in there. Obviously, that depends upon how loud you want the system to be as well. More speakers, the louder it will be. I'm all about that. To a level, you don't want it to be too noisy. But what's brilliant with this kind of system is you can just add on speakers as you like. You could install a system and someone say, well, actually, we want to make it a bigger system now. Well, guess what? All you need is extra speakers. It's really easy to build bigger systems after the fact. Unlike with a 100-volt system or a low impedance system, all of a sudden you've got to go, have I got spare amps? Have I got the cable in? Blah, blah, blah. Very simple to create bigger systems. So for a one zone, very simple. You'll need one transmitter, one volume control, and the speakers. Can't get more simple than that. And what's very cool is built in, we've got the 6 zones available for volume. Basically, on the back of the speaker, you just move it onto A, B, C, D, or F. And then on your control unit, you've obviously got those buttons to control those different volume zones. This might be if you've got a counter space, you don't want the volume to be as loud there. But maybe at the front of the store, you want it louder, or maybe it's in a bar, and in a bar, you've got it quieter at the bar side, but in the dance area, it might be a little bit louder. A 2-zone system, we need 2 transmitters, we need 2 volumes, and we need 2 sets of speakers, as simple as that. really, really easy to set up these systems so that you can create 2 different areas and then you're away. It's very easy to literally just put these side by side with each other. The biggest system we've seen so far, a great installer in the Netherlands had 6 systems side by side with each other. Very cool. But literally, you just need an extra transmitter. And then obviously, if you wanted more control to do matrixing on the front end, we have the brand Allen and Heath with the AHM, which is the really interesting matrix unit, and we also have the little mixers if you did want a smaller mixer, and even with setting up these systems, you can just put that at the front end of this 2-zone system, or how many zones you may ever imagine. For a large zone, what you can actually do is you can use 1 volume control and 2 transmitters with 2 sets of speakers, and it's really simple to wire up. You'll have your source into the first transmitter, but guess what? On the back of these speakers, we have a line out, and with that line out, we can then literally send that straight into a new transmitter, and away you go. You've got another transmitter into another area. What's very cool with these speakers is they've all got line inputs and line outputs as well. They're on Phoenix connectors, but we've also got a 3.5 aux out, which you can use. Very, very simple to set up bigger systems this way. Pairing a system, it's pretty simple. Even I can do it. Basically, you just press and hold the pair button for 1 second, and it opens the pairing circuit, and that will pair for up to 20 minutes. What's very cool with the pairing system is you could easily do this in your warehouse before you go out to a job, set up all the pairs before you even get to the job, unbox the speakers and start installing them. What is very interesting is nowadays what can be very important for people is how long are you in that store installing, how long are you in that bar, how long are you in that cafe, and if you can do all your prep beforehand and you can go in there and install it within 10-20 minutes, I mean it's a whole new different world for that side of things. The labor time, the cost of the labor, the cost of your time prepping these things, it really makes it very quick. If you want to close the pairing system down, hold the button for 4 seconds and it'll close down the pairing. And if you want to reset the speaker or the transmitter entirely, just hold it down for 8 seconds and it will flash and completely reset the unit. Here's some do's and don'ts. Don't put the transmitter under a counter, because guess what? It doesn't work as well. Put it on a wall. Don't put the transmitter behind into a different room. It doesn't work as well. Put it in the actual space. How about don't put the transmitter low down? Look, this guy is looking at the transmitter and he's going, this is in the wrong place. I don't want it there. Put it higher up. Make it above head height. Don't put the transmitter in with a load of cables. It doesn't do too well there. No, we don't want that. Quite interestingly as well, if you've got a lot of electrical cables behind the transmitter, you really want to avoid that too, which is what's shown in that second diagram. Also, don't wrap your power cable around the transmitter. That's not so good. Here's an interesting one. We really want that transmitter placed in the center of all the speakers. That will give you your best coverage for the wireless transmission. But as we know, we're on a 3.5mm or a USB for a sound card, so it can be a little bit awkward. There's a very simple workaround. So if you do need to run a longer audio cable for your audio, we recommend having a little look at this third-party unit. MuxLab has a little transformer built into a unit. You can basically put a Cat5 cable into this unit and it will convert your audio cable onto Cat5. Really, really simple little solution to run longer cable runs if required. Volume control, guess what? We don't want that under the counter either. That's not so good. In another room? No, we want it in the same room. Makes a lot of sense. People need to control it. And this guy's looking down at this wireless controller again. He's not very happy. It's too low down. So just try and aim for that clear line of sight for your volume controller. Speaker-wise, avoid putting the speakers into any metal structure. We really don't want to hide the speakers in metal structures. As you know, with wireless, metal definitely reflects a lot of the power, and it can give you multi route interference. And yeah, just try and keep that clear line of sight. Really straightforward, really simple to do. Here's some bad ones. No, I don't like it. It's above the metal railing. No, it's next to some scissors under a counter. No, it's hidden in the white bit. What's in that basket? A power cable. What's under the power cable? It's the transmitter. That's not a very good place. We want it to look beautiful. We want it to look nice. Very, very simple to set up and a very beautiful to design. So finally, if you are interested in becoming an Audio Pro business installer, what we're really interested in doing is having information about each installation. This helps for our service. It helps for the support. So every install, just head over to this website, hit Service and Support, go down to your help topic, choose installation, fill in a quick bit of details and a few bits of pieces of images, send it away, and then we've got all of that ready. If you ever get a customer that's unhappy, that's having problems, this is gold dust. This is what we want, all of that extra bits of information, and it's really quick, really easy to do. Do it on site, job done, quick, easy. And that is our beautiful Audio Pro business presentation.